Hello, fellow alchemists. Welcome back to our series on Elixir. Now, today I wanted to show you guys how we can use WebSockets and just plain Elixir to pull in some tick data. I remember I did get a question from somebody about how to actually use WebSockets within Elixir, and I'm going to show you guys just how to do that. Now, there's a couple things we need to add. I'm not going to use plain WebSockets. I'm going to use a couple libraries, of course. So the first library we need to add in is going to be JSON, so we can serialize our JSON data. And the next library I'm going to use is Websockets. This library I've actually used in production, and I think it works pretty well once you get used to it. And so with these two libraries, there should be enough for us to actually connect to some tick data. So I'm going to be using the Kraken WebSocket API to show you guys that everything's working okay. So of course we need to run make steps git, and there we go. Now this application I did generate with the sup extension when I made it, so mix new with sup, which will give us a supervisor, which is just our application. So this is how I'm going to start up our app. Now what we will need to do is we need to actually create the WebSocket connection, so websocket.ex. We need to define our module, ticker.websocket, and then we need to use WebSockets. So this is going to bring in a couple of things for us to use. And just so that we can see everything's working okay, I'm going to require the logger so I can log out when things are happening. So first we want to actually handle connections. So when we actually connect, we want to basically just log out that we are connected, and then just return OK and the state. And then finally, so that we can start this up within our tree, I'm going to use the WebSocket start link, and you'll see that this is going to take the the URL, the module, some state options, etc. So in this case, I'm just going to pass in, so it should be ws.kraken.com, and we're going to use our current module, and we're not going to have any state, just pass in nil directly. And this is also part of an implementation, so we can add this in here, impl true. So now when we start this up, you'll see that we can get connected just fine. And we're not connected right now, and that's because we actually didn't even add this to our tree. So pretty simple. Just go to here, ticker, WebSocket. I'm just going to restart this. And then you'll see that we did connect just fine. So now the next thing is we need to actually subscribe to some pairs so we start getting some data back. And we also need to actually handle when we get information coming in. So I'm just going to basically handle, there's this function called handle frame. So whenever data comes in, it's called a frame. And there's two types of frames. There's ping pongs, and there's also text. So we're looking for some text data when that data comes in. Of course, we also have our state. So when that data comes in, I'm just going to log it out, received, and then we're just going to inspect that data just so we can see it. And then finally, we have to return OK in the state. Now the other thing is we need to also subscribe to some pairs. So I'm just going to subscribe to just BTC and USD trading pair. Now how you do this is actually quite interesting. The way I do it is that I just send myself a message saying to subscribe. And this is also an implementation. And we have another implementation, which is to handle info. So when we send ourselves a message, it's going to be handle info. And we match on that subscribe. We got our state. And for this one, it's going to be quite simple. So we have our subscribe message. and we just want to encode. And for this one, it's the event is to subscribe. And we have a pair. And this one has to be, basically we can have a bunch of pairs, but I'm just going to have a single pair in here, which is just going to be XBT USDC, just a sample pair, not really important what it is. And we just want to subscribe to everything so that way we can get a good amount of data coming in. So subscription. And what we're going to subscribe to is going to be just everything. So there are different types of data you can subscribe to. And I'm just going to format this. A little bit easier to handle. So after that, then very simply, we just say reply with a text response, and that's the JSON encoded data, and of course state. And this should be enough for us to get started. So once we turn this thing on, you'll see that we have subscribed properly. And we start getting all this data in here, which is exactly what we're looking for. So not super important, but at least you can see how easy it is to set up WebSockets with Websockets and just plain Elixir. So this is Alan from Plangora. Please subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks. Bye. Hi. Please feel free to ask us any questions about Elixir, Flutter, or anything else in programming. Here's our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll answer your questions every Friday. Ya mantai ge dak man all. Yo wenti ji da wen wo.